Hello. Okay, let me give a formal introduction. Hello guys. Welcome to My Thoughts No One Asked For, where I share my thoughts none of you asked for or probably even care about, but I'm gonna share them anyway. Hello everyone. Um, I am back. Finally. I took a week off because my birthday was last week. I turned 23 last week, okay? That is the only reason I ruined my consistency because I had to take a vacay. I absolutely had to. So I'm back now. There's so much to yap about, so much to talk about. Um, there's so much to talk about that I even had to leave topics off of this docket today that I'll have to get back to next week. Um, so there's just a lot to get to. But to start off, birthday recap slash recap. So I went to Montego Bay for my birthday. I went down there Monday, left Friday. And yes, it was a solo trip. Yes. Yes, it was a solo trip and I really did enjoy it. Hold on, wait. Sorry, lip gloss check. I don't feel like I have enough lip gloss on. Wait. Okay, I'm back now. So, yes, it was a solo trip. And of course that wasn't initially the plan. Um, but I already talked to y'all last week about that. I don't wait on people. So, um they had a cold front earlier that week, so it was a bit cool and windy. Sad face. Yeah. Thank you for the follow. It was a bit too cool for my liking. Didn't love that. But it is okay because Jamaica is the one country that I will go to countless times throughout my lifetime. Um I'm sure it'll be a handful of other countries as well, but like Jamaica is number 1, number 1. Like absolutely. I'm for sure gonna keep going back to Jamaica as many times as I possibly want to in my life because I know many people who live there or many people from there. And it's just one of those places you can honestly never get sick of. So yeah, I was able to have a little bit of beach time, not too much. The sun came out for my birthday, so that was the positive. The sun came out for my birthday, warmed up a bit, but the first 2 days was a bit cool, breezy, rainy. Um, but I was able to eat some good food. I was able to enjoy my Airbnb that I paid a lot of money for. Okay. So I was able to enjoy that, took some good pictures, enjoyed my pool a little bit. I got a little baby tan when the sun was out that one day. Um, so yeah, and of course I met some great people, some cool people. Niggas tried to flirt, of course. That was like the main reason I didn't really want to go back to the beach because I'm like I don't really want to be bothered. I just want to relax. But yeah, overall, let me tell you. Okay, so there's a couple of things that I took away from this trip, right? For one, of course I want to like go on more vacations, even if they're like baby vacations, like a weekend getaway at the like after work, or just Florida, something quick because I'm from Atlanta, so it's like that ain't really a trip for real. It's just not far. Like even if it's something small, I need to get out of Atlanta, Georgia, or even out the country a lot more often. I need new scenery. I need to be reminded that like this isn't all that exists. So, that's kind of the main thing. And then the biggest thing that I took away from the trip is like learning how to be more present, live more in the moment. Um, I did feel so I didn't take my ADHD medication on this trip, obviously, because I got drunk. Okay, so not gonna mix the two. But my anxiety was kind of kicking a little bit because of the weather and the rain, and I was like, oh, I'm not really gonna be able to do anything, whatever. And I feel like I didn't think too much. I didn't overthink too much about the weather and trying to do stuff and experience it to the point where it ruined it. But I do feel like I dwelled on it a bit too much for my liking. Um, and I also was thinking about stuff from home too. Like I was thinking about content, and I was like, you know, just thinking about all the stuff I'm gonna have to handle when I come back and going to work and all that stuff. And I should have been a lot more present for sure. Probably just putting my phone away. I mean, I was in a whole nother country, so I didn't want to completely be too far from my phone. But moving forward, even at home, even now, like I want to learn how to be more present, be more in the moment. I am addicted to my phone. I I'm addicted to my phone. Like I really need to do unplug sessions. Like seriously, I need to do unplug sessions and I need to just get more comfortable. I need to get in nature more. Like it's gonna start warming up soon. I totally hey over here in the TikTok chat. I want to start like hiking and just like being in nature more, getting outside, just experiencing more things and being more present wherever I'm at, whoever I'm with. I just don't want to let my mind ruin what I'm experiencing or what's right in front of me. Being present is so fucking important. Like I was in Jamaica, like I was as present as I could have been and I genuinely did enjoy myself. Um it was just a learning lesson for me moving forward to just like be more present for sure. Um and then since I went alone, I left with a couple overrated trip things that I wanted to talk to you guys about really quick before we get into the topics. Um so I did talk to you guys last episode about why I am hesitant to well, I've talked to y'all about a little bit of the pros and cons of like going on a trip, by yourself and having to wait on other people for group trips and stuff like that. But first of all, one of the things that's overrated to me, my personal opinion, one of the things that's overrated to me when it comes to trips, when it comes to that first day and you feel like, okay, you can't check into wherever you at till about at least 3, 4. So you feel like, okay, well, let me hit the ground running. Let me get here and let me get going. Let me go do this. Let me try to do stuff. I'm sorry, that first day when I check in on a vacation, I want to relax that first day. I want to chill. Can I absorb the aroma? Can I realize where I'm at and actually digest it and just enjoy it for a second? Like can I just breathe? Like before you're like trying to make me just go do a whole bunch of stuff. Mostly that comes from not being there for that long. So you're only there for like 3 days. Of course, the first day you feel like you have to do a whole bunch of shit to like to make use of all the money that you're spending on this trip. Absolutely not. Also, another thing, another thing that's overrated is spending less than 4 days anywhere on vacation. 4 days minimum. Truthfully, it should be like 6, depending on where, like 5 to 6 days. I'm just saying. Like trying to like staying somewhere for 3 days, no, because then y'all feel like that first day you have to do all this stuff. No, that first day I want to chill. Let me go get some nice food, maybe go by the pool and relax. I don't want to be out, be in everybody's face, try to do excursions and mix and mingle. Can I unpack? Can I chill? That's number 1. Number 2, um, or it kind of goes into number 2, just rushing to do everything, like trying to do all these excursions and do everything in this one trip. You you can come back. Like whatever you don't get to, you can come back. I feel like on vacation, even if you have an itinerary, like take your time. I often feel myself rushing on vacations slightly, but with this last vacation I went on, I was moving by the beat of my own drum. And I was like, let's just relax. Like, yeah, I can get up a little later. I can take my time getting ready. Like what am I in a rush for? Take your time and just do whatever feels natural to you. I feel like for some of us who maybe don't travel often at the moment, when we do go on trips, we kind of feel like we have to move a little bit quicker so we can get all these things done and experience it all, and that ruins it. It's like just be in the moment, enjoy it, and do whatever feels comfortable for you. Also, Another thing that people say, they're like, "Oh, well, where I'm staying doesn't really matter because I'm always going to be out." Cool, I get that, but me, if I'm spending my money, no, unless you're like on a resort, obviously. But if you're like at an Airbnb or something, um, or even a hotel, the room matters for me. I need a nice room. The bathroom is very important. Very, very important. I intentionally didn't even stay at a hotel in Jamaica because I didn't like the bathrooms. So the room matters to me because I paid hundreds of dollars for it. I'm going to enjoy this room. I'm going to get fucked up. I'm going to chill. I'm going to vibe in it, have a couple people over. I'm going to enjoy the fuck out my room. Not saying I'm going to be in there the whole time, but I didn't spend all this money for no reason. Like, no. So those are just a couple things that's overrated to me when it comes to trips. I don't know if y'all disagree. If y'all got any, let me know. But overall, I had a great birthday. I had a very peaceful birthday. I'm blessed for another year. So I feel good. And this is my first birthday in a few years that I felt confident physically. I talked to y'all a little bit over a couple episodes, a little bit about my weight, and I was a lot thicker and me losing weight and feeling comfortable. And this is the first year in many years that probably since like I was 21, so not that long, but I have felt 100% confident in my body, in how I look and how I just am as a person, internally, externally. Like I just overall feel a lot more confident than usual. So that's good. That's good. So anyways, um let's get into, oh, I did want to talk about that, but we got to get into the topics. Okay, boom. So Seffon, thank you, JX. Seffon and Cardi. So this is not the Wendy Williams show. So I'm not like gonna sit up here and gossip about them, right? Um, I don't know these people, right? Now, at the end of the points that I'm gonna like talk about regarding this topic, like I've taken like multiple different points from this situation. I'll kind of give my brief opinion on it at the end, but like I'm not gonna let this take up the whole show. So whatever. So in case you don't know, to summarize, Seffon and Cardi B, whatever, right? So Cardi, she left Offset. She started dealing with Seffon. Seffon was going around impregnating bitches and also got her pregnant at the same time. Then they were in a relationship. Super Bowl just passed. Obviously, he was in Super Bowl. Obviously, Cardi was there. His baby mama with the newborn was there, as well as his best friend, who the best friend was fucking Offset. Very messy. They unfollowed each other. People are assuming they broke up, whatever. That's the gossip of it all. Cool. Put that to the side. So, this is the thing. I have a lot of thoughts about this, but not directly about them, and more so in case you don't know, in case you're new to my show, I take the topics I discuss on here are from my personal life or just my own brain or shit that I see on social media. And if it's like topics about like celebrities or people's personal situations, I take certain things from it and make it more personal so we can have dialogue instead of just sitting up here talking about our opinion about them, right? So, just so you can understand my approach. So, first and foremost, I really think that it's important um to learn from other people's mistakes, right? Yes, to learn from yours, but it's also just as important to learn from other people's mistakes because it's pretty much a cheat code. It's pretty much a cheat code, and you can avoid so much shit by learning from other people's mistakes. And I'm mainly talking to my fellow young hoes, right? Because Cardi is grown, right? But I'm talking more so to my fellow young hoes when it comes to Honestly, not even just romantic situations, but literally just anything. Your friends, family, shit that you see happen on social media. Like, I'm the type of person, I learn from other people's shit. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to end up in that situation, so I'm gonna avoid this. And it's not necessarily, I understand it can be hard because not everybody's situation will be the exact same, but you can definitely assess different scenarios and be like, okay, I don't want to end up in that situation, so let me avoid that. Or I do want to end up in that situation, so let me try this. It's, you don't have to always fuck up on your own to learn from your mistakes. You can watch other people's fuck ups and like study them and learn from those so you can protect yourself and like, you know what I mean? So just a tip for honestly anyone out there, right? But I want to talk about the lover girl life versus the hot girl life, right? I feel like oftentimes, especially as like young women, um we have to learn how to decide which one are we going to do, right? And it's not always going to be just one for the rest of your life. It's, you're going to pick one for different points of your life, whatever. Y'all have to decide whether you want to be a hot girl or a lover girl. You have to decide, okay, I'm just going to thought and bop and do whatever, keep shit casual. Cool. If that's the route you want to go, that's the route you want to go. Lover girl, you're dating intentionally. So that means you're setting boundaries, you're getting to know people, but you're taking it slow at your comfortability. And the end goal is a relationship. You girls that try to juggle both, and we've all done it, but I've learned my lesson, child. Um, for you young women specifically, my young hosts that try to juggle both, that's how you fuck yourself up, right? And what I mean by juggling both is for my girls who's a lover girl at your core, right? You try to be like a hot girl, right? Let's say you just got out of a messed up situation, because I'm kind of using Cardi as an example. You got out of a fucked up situation, right? And you're like, fuck it, fuck this nigga, I'm about to go, do whatever, try to make him jealous, or even just try to experience new people, right? So you kind of are on your hot girl shit a little bit, but your heart is still, very much so a lover girl. But it's certain things that you're kind of letting slide that you usually wouldn't let slide because you're trying to be cool, you're trying to be relaxed, you're trying to keep shit casual, and you're trying to kind of mask your obsession with commitment and monogamy because you want to, I don't know, fit in or impress people or try something new, right? That's where you're always going to fuck yourself up. Always. And I feel like in this scenario with Cardi, she kind of tried to do both, right? Because you're getting out of this long term situation where you're clearly a lover girl, you're clearly a relationship person, and then you kind of rush into dating a slut who is impregnating other women and then also gets you pregnant. So you got pregnant by a slut, which is also a choice, by the way, but that's neither here nor there. You got pregnant by a slut. And so you now enter this situation. Now you're in a relationship. You enter this situation where you kind of already are fucked. Because if it's starting off this way, after the child is born, you can't expect anything to get better than that. Like, you can't expect him to no longer be a slut post child. That's not how this works, right? And so now he's continuing to be a slut, and it's fucked up from her point of view because it's just like, this is some lame shit. However, she let certain shit slide, right? You let certain shit slide. You know what I'm saying? You acting your unusual self, and you get yourself in a pickle. This is why, brings me to my next point. If you do want to try to balance being a lover girl, but a hot girl at the same time, and just trying to figure shit out, the only way you can do that is if you spend time alone to heal. Not even to fully heal, because that can take shit a lifetime, half a lifetime. But just take time alone to yourself. I know getting out of a bad like breakup or just situationship can be hurtful, and it can make you lose your self-esteem. It can have you thinking all kinds of shit, right? And your first thought is revenge, right? So I totally get it, but knowing this from experience, especially as a person who was so used to being like having someone all the time and didn't even know what it felt like to be single, like like alone, like no one in my phone, having that year of just getting comfortable with being by myself, with being alone and being confident in myself as a person and just growing and just doing a lot of self-work, that has made me have a completely different approach to dating. That's a lot more healthy. Am I fully healed? Absolutely the fuck not. But I now can approach things in a much healthier way, and I'm a lot more in tune with my emotions and why I feel how I feel. And I'm a lot more cautious with decisions that I make and people I choose to entertain. Um Again, this is why it's also important to have boundaries. A lot of young women, they don't, you're kind of scared to make boundaries, or I don't know, a lot of young women probably, have issues with that. It takes time to fully feel comfortable with, no, I don't want to do this. Cause honestly, sometimes you don't even know. You don't even know what you want, you know? But yeah, you have to take time alone to truly heal and be comfortable in yourself. Then that's when you can approach dating like, okay, now you can approach the hot girl side where you can just date, thought and bop and do whatever. And now okay, I'm doing my thing. He's doing his thing. Whatever comes from this, I'm gonna just have to take that L. So if I'm dealing with him casually and I find out he's still messing with his ex, I'm gonna have to take that L, moving on to the next one. So it's just kind of like you are more aware of the decisions that you're making and what you're setting yourself up for. Then if you decide you're gonna go strictly lover girl, now you're more comfortable setting boundaries. Now you're more confident. Now you're more secure. Now you have a guard up to a certain extent to where you're making sure you're fully vetting this person and you're not ignoring red flags. It's a totally different approach than just getting out of a bad situation and rushing into dating and just going in blind and just letting whatever fly. It's completely different. And so, if you have not had that stage in your life where you're just like confident and comfortable with being alone, you should probably try it at least for like a certain period of time to see how it can affect you when it comes to dating. Specifically, my young hoes. I'm talking to my young hoes. Which stage do you feel like you're in? What do you mean? Like my lover girl, hot girl, or what? What specifically? Because I feel like I honestly don't know what I don't know. I Like I said, I'm not fully healed. You know what I mean? Like I definitely, things that I've experienced definitely still bother me for sure. But I am always like I'm a lover girl to my core. I'm open to dating. I'm open to getting to know people. Um, Honestly, I would say that I'm in my lover girl stage right now. Yeah. I felt like I was in my hot girl stage for a minute, but I'm backing out of that right now. So I'm in my lover girl stage, and I feel like I'm always open to date, get to know people. I'm just real selective, very selective and cautious to protect myself. I still feel like I have a lot of work to do internally to like, you know, but that's where I'm at personally. So, anyways, this is the other quick point I wanted to make. At some point, right, as young women, we can't control these guys who are just fucked up individuals. Like we can't control fuck boys. They're going to He was a slut when you met him. He's always going to be a slut for as long as he wants to be. There's absolutely nothing you can do to change another person's actions. Nothing. What you can do is change your approach or change different things to avoid the outcome. Can you completely 100% avoid getting hurt or someone doing something fucked up to you? No. However, there are certain things you can do to avoid certain things. So, if you don't want to get pregnant by a bum, then don't have sex with a bum. Don't have unprotected sex with a bum. You know what I mean? If you don't want to um just be in certain situations, if you don't want to like be embarrassed, right? Or just don't get too attached too quickly. Slow down, relax, fully vet this person and get to know who you're dealing with so you can then cruise and feel comfortable. I just feel like oh no, I just feel like some women just kind of fall too deep into situations and like I don't know, y'all just gotta take y'all time. Just take your time, please. All my young hoes, y'all just take y'all time, relax, and chill. Um, because at some point, if you continue to find yourself in the same situation over and 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 over, at some point you have to be like, okay, well, what am I doing that's not making this situation better? What am I doing wrong? And a lot of the times, it usually is boundaries. Setting boundaries saves you like a lot of trouble, a lot of tears, a lot of embarrassment. And it's honestly easier said than done. So I'm not saying that as if it's this extremely easy thing to do. But like I really want young women to not allow I mean, and as young women, we're young, so we're allowed to fuck up over and over and over again. But I just want y'all to not let yourselves get in too many fucked up situations that you then have to learn a lesson from later on, when you can have like a few fucked up situations and be like, okay, let me switch my approach here. You know what I mean? Let me maybe, not letting them in my house. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like holding off on physical stuff. You know what I'm not telling them certain things about you. You know what I mean? Like just just setting certain boundaries to protect yourself truly does save you a lot of trouble. And overall, to just wrap this up with my quick thoughts on Cardi and Stefan, not that she's looking for sympathy as of now, but like I don't feel bad for this lady. I don't feel bad for this lady because you knew what you were. She knew everyone. His messiness of a love life has always been public. It's never been a secret. And you knew that and you accepted it, and it's kind of like this is just a prime example of, and I don't fault her for like what she's experiencing. However, this is where accountability comes into play for my ladies, where it's like when you try to be the cool girl and let shit slide, when you know you're really not that bitch, you are going to be left looking stupid. So you're trying to be cool, be relaxed. Oh, let me do this, knowing internally you're really not okay with it because you want to be perceived a certain way or you want to try to be loose and be fun. I get it. I understand it. But you're always going to be left looking stupid as fuck and feeling like shit. So you need to just stand 10 toes on whatever it is that you feel, however it is that you move, and don't just go wherever the fucking wind blows, especially fully aligning with what the man wants. If it don't align with what you want, then you can fucking kick rocks. So anyway, just my quick thoughts on that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Anyways, moving right along. So I seen a couple things that made me have this thought, right? I originally seen this video of this girl saying, "Oh, um, people are fake outraged about the ring camera commercial in the Super Bowl, where basically, they're surveillancing like dogs, and it's like some weird facial recognition AI shit that's creeping people out, right? Rightfully so. And so she's like, "Oh, people are fake outraged because y'all are not going to stop using your ring cameras, and just like y'all aren't going to stop shopping at Target, and this, and that." Um, I want to have just an honest conversation about like people being hypocritical and like fake outrage, right? You pointing out, it's kind of like performative, like how y'all like drill that word to the ground. You saying something isn't performative. You calling something performative doesn't really always like affect it. Like unless it's harmful, most times people slap things, slap performative onto things that they just don't like, and they maybe can't pinpoint why, or they just don't feel connected to it. They just call it performative. But calling something that doesn't really affect that, whether that's what you feel or not, it's just kind of such a pointless word. Same thing with hypocritical to me, because honestly, I mean, on a basic level, as humans, we are flawed. We are very hypocritical. All of us are hypocritical to a certain extent. We just are. There's literally no way to avoid it, especially if you make content, you talk for a living. You're going to contradict yourself. And as someone who I don't view it as contradicting myself, because for me personally, I love entertaining nuance. I don't think very black and white in that case. So I'm always able to understand all different perspectives, and I appreciate nuance. So I don't mind it. But you feeling like someone is being a hypocrite, like, unfortunately people are allowed to be hypocritical. So using this girl as an example, where she was talking about, well, actually, I want to play the clip for y'all really quick so y'all can, just a little bit, so y'all can kind of understand what I'm saying. Where is this right here? Hold on.
That shit is fake outrage. The ring camera shit about to be fake outrage. Ain't no none of y'all motherfuckers taking y'all goddamn ring cameras down. Ain't none of y'all about to stop doing parlays and fucking betting and doing none of that shit. The same way y'all flocked to watch that dumbass motherfucking football game last night, and y'all flocked to hurry up and watch the motherfucking Grammys a couple days ago. Y'all don't give a fuck. Y'all don't give a damn. It's only outrage because it's cool to be outraged about the shit right now. It's cool. It's a fucking trend to be mad about the shit right now. That's why y'all are fucking doing it. The same.
Hold on one second. Just because you think that it's fake outrage doesn't make the outrage invalid. Like it's still pretty, it's a valid concern to be weirded out by this ring camera shit. That's a valid like concern. But you calling it fake outrage, whether you think it's fake or not, you're right. Some people probably are not going to stop using ring cameras. You're fucking right. Most people probably are not. These people that are complaining about it, they probably are not, right? However, them pointing out, hey, this shit is weird and a lot of fucked up shit can happen with this, so we should be aware of that. That is valid though. So you saying that it's fake outrage doesn't invalidate their concern. It's still a valid concern. So for me, the whole fake outrage thing, you could literally talk about any topic from any perspective, and you can point at fake outrage in anything. In anything. If you personally aren't affected by it, of course you're going to feel like it's fake outrage because you aren't affected by it. And you're trying to carve out hypocrisy as your angle in it, when it's just like, even if someone is being hypocritical in a situation as far as like an opinion or perspective, their initial opinion can still be right. It can still be right. Someone can be a hypocrite and still have a valid statement or opinion. It's possible. I'm sorry, but it just is. A lot of I feel like it's just generalized too much. A lot of outrage, but it's a bigger customer base than what we would think, and a majority probably don't care. You feel like what is generalized too much? Like fake like outrage? Because at the end of the day it's social media. So like we're all going to interpret things differently. But another example of like the hypocritical thing that I was thinking of is this video from this podcast, and this guy is like, um I don't fuck with your jokes that you make about my girl. I don't like that shit. And the guy was like, well, everybody else does it. Everybody else in this room does it, so why are you just picking and choosing? Why are you just picking at me? And he's like, I don't like how you do it. I don't like your jokes that you make regarding me or my girl. So stop it, right? He's setting a boundary that I don't want. When it comes to you and your jokes, I don't want any of them mentioning my girl, my family, period, point blank. And the guy is just offering pushback of just like, well, everyone else does it, so that's hypocritical. Like, why are you just coming for me when everyone else does it? Here's the thing. And like a lot of people was like, oh, well, he's being hypocritical because, oh, so and so said this and blah. And there's a couple of different variables as to why that reasoning, but I'm not going to get deep into that. Guess what? He is very much so allowed to tell you, the person he's talking to, for whatever his reason is, hey, I don't want you joking about me and my family. And yes, he can, the other people in the room can still do it. He may have his own personal reasons why he doesn't address them. But guess what? He doesn't have to. I don't have to. I'm talking to you. So I'm talking to you. Don't talk about my family. Don't joke about my family, period. Don't try to deflect and point at everybody else and be like, oh, why are you just talking to me? No, I'm talking to you. Like people try to, I understand that a lot of times, like when someone's being hypocritical, it can be very annoying and frustrating. And it's also a valid thing to point out. But at the same time, don't just try to use that as like a full blown deflection to from what is currently happening. And just overall, someone being hypocritical is just like, it's just such a like mute point. Like it just doesn't matter for the most part. Now, like if we're talking about personal relationships you have with people, you know what I mean? I think that's where being hypocritical can be a little bit dangerous. Like if I'm if I have a friend who doesn't want me talking about her love life, right? That's completely off limits. She doesn't want me to talk about it. She doesn't want my opinion on it. But when it comes to me, she feels comfortable expressing her opinions about my love life, right? So now if I come to her and I'm like, well, and I try to do a tit for tat, and I'm like, well, I don't like that you talk about my love life, like, because you don't want me talking about yours. You don't want to hear my opinion about yours, so don't talk about mine. Her response can easily be like, well, you don't seem to have a problem with it, right? You don't have an issue with it. So I didn't know it was a problem. You have to start approaching things from a point of view of like, okay, do you want to play this tit for tat game, or do you just want to set individual boundaries, or just have a isolated conversation about what's going on and what the issue is and get to the root of it? Because I may not have an issue with her talking about my love life. I probably genuinely don't have an issue with that, but she might. And so it can easily be just two different boundaries set for us both, instead of just being quick to try to point out hypocrisy in someone and be like, but you. It's like, I could be right in pointing that out. It would be hypocritical of her to feel comfortable to do that with me, and for her to not like it for me to do it to her. But at the end of the day, we're two different people. We have two different sets of limits, and it's very much okay for us to have different boundaries regarding the same situation. I don't want to live in this tit for tat world, or constantly trying to balance someone in their hypocrisy and try to meet them where they're at and match their level. It's just like, no, you're a different person. So if that's so, me personally now today, if I'm in that scenario, if I genuinely don't have an issue with it, I'm going to allow her to still express her opinion about my love life and not do it with her. I will respect her boundary and she will respect mine. Simple. It doesn't have to be this like big thing. And I just think at the end of the day, people need to learn how to respect people's boundaries and it'll be cool. But looping it back to the fake outrage topic so I can wrap this part up. Um, yeah, your opinion, you can call anything fake outrage. You can say that people who you can say black people that hate racist white people are it's fake outrage. They're not really mad because they do this and they da 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 and they like this. You can call anything fake outrage. So like don't think that you saying that holds any type of weight or means anything cuz it doesn't. If you some coon calling me saying that I'm fake outrage for being mad about Trump uploading uh a video, AI video of Barack and Michelle as fucking apes. A coon calling me, thank you for the follow. A coon calling me fake outrage for that doesn't invalidate my it doesn't invalidate my outrage. You can think that is fake, but it's very much so something valid to be outraged about. So now what? Like you're that fake outrage thing, it goes in one ear and out the other. People like make that statement and they feel like it matters, but it it don't. I'm sorry, it don't. I promise you, baby, it don't matter. I promise you. So just keep it to yourself, please. But again, I understand all perspectives, you know what I mean? But, that's just my thoughts on the fake outrage, hypocritical conversation. Mainly the hypocritical thing is something I thought about this week. I was just like, you know what? I actually don't care about people being hypocritical. I really don't. Like I understand in different scenarios how it can be harmful. And so outside of that, in general, I just simply don't care because we're humans and we're flawed and we all are hypocritical as fuck. So like it's really not worth a talking point. Hey Chad, you're a little late. I've been yapping for a while, so you're gonna have to catch the replay. But to wrap up this show, I'm gonna close this out with the Glorilla sister topic. Because it's I truly felt seen during this situation. Let me read your comment, Drew. At the end of the day, opinions really don't matter in a general sense because no one's right or wrong. In a general sense, that's correct. Yeah, for certain things, especially morally, are right and wrong, and just like scientifically, mathematically, aside from that stuff that's very concrete, where like it's very clear right and wrong. Yes, as far as opinions and, about anything, generally speaking, it just who the fuck cares? You either agree with someone or you don't. You either like them or you don't. You don't have to place these different words to describe things because you don't identify with it to try to um invalidate whatever the fuck it is that they have to say or whatever it is that they're doing. Like just people got to learn how to speak and actually be specific about how they feel about things instead of just calling things performative, fake outrage. Explain how you feel. Because at the end of the day, you're just using words that don't matter and you're not expressing your actual opinion. And a lot of the times when they do then express their actual opinion, they start to really not make any fucking sense. And then it starts to sound like, okay, you're either just hating or you just simply just don't agree. And if that's the case, then say that. But y'all slap all these words onto people without explaining your perspective. Talk, use words, put sentences together to explain what your perspective is and why you disagree with whatever this person says or does. It's not that hard. Like, you get what I mean? That shit annoys me so bad. I've been seeing that on Twitter today where one of my favorite creators had called um what Cole is doing performative, like him selling CDs out of a Honda Civic for his fans and just doing all this shit, and how he feels like it's performative. And it's just like, okay, he's a performer, he's an artist. Like, and what? Even if that is true, what does that even mean? What does that change? It means nothing. The word, it just, you calling it performative, what do you think that that statement does to what he's doing? You think that that makes people view it differently? It doesn't. He's doing something for his fans, and he's doing something authentic and organic and great. There's, you thinking it's performative, and then all the replies where he was trying to like defend himself, he just sounded, even he made even like no more sense the more he kept trying to defend himself. Like it was blowing my mind. And I'm just like, Lord, people just gotta, if he would have just articulated the way that he felt about it, then maybe it would have made more sense. But like, y'all gotta find other words. I'm tired of these same words. Y'all keep regurgitating shit. Anyway, y'all, let's get into the final topic. Okay? The final topic. So I know y'all seen all this shit with I'm not gonna recap it. I know y'all seen that. The stuff with Glorilla's sister, you know, how she feels entitled to her sister's success. And Glorilla actually hopped on live responding to it the other day, and I really liked her energy and just kind of how like nonchalant she was about it. In my personal opinion, and this is how I've always felt, I don't feel like your family is obligated to your success. No, I do not. I don't think Glorilla owes her family a goddamn thing. Because in my mind, just like she said, I worked hard for this, right? Like, I worked really hard to get to where I'm at, and I work hard for my money, right? Now, there are some people who want to accomplish certain things in life so they can take care of people, live their life taking care of people. I don't have that goal, right? Now, of course, my intention is to help people, help my family, help strangers, help homeless people, right? There's many people that I want to help. However, I refuse to live my life being successful and working super hard to get to a certain point just to feel obligated to give all that shit out to people just because I'm related to them. That's just not the life I'm going to live. It's not. I'm going to do what I can. I'm going to help in the way that I can and what feels comfortable for me. Me personally, I don't really like the idea of me acting as an ATM. So Glow's sister feeling like she just needs to like give her money, like she's not an ATM. And like, quite frankly, people who are on the receiving end of that, who are asking, who want, they don't realize that this actually isn't even helping you. What would help you is for me to invest in you, for me to give you money to start up a business, or for you to do whatever the fuck you want, or to be able to put you in different rooms to help you build something for yourself. I don't like people that just want. And I understand that in certain scenarios, because of people's upbringing and just how their brains wired, that's just all that they can do. But I don't fault Glow for being like, nigga, get it on your own, just like I had to do. I built this shit from the ground up. We watched her. So it's like, just because y'all look the same, y'all related, you can't now feel 100% obligated to whatever income she has. That's just not fair. It's not fair. I appreciate people that work hard and that do exactly what they're going to say they're going to do. And again, for people that there's people that want to help their family, that want to do all of this stuff, but there's people also don't talk about how heavy of a weight that carries onto you, unless you're a fucking millionaire, a billionaire, and you can do it to a point where it doesn't affect you that much. For people like Glow, or even people who probably has a little bit less money than Glow, but it seems rich to their family. Like, it can be a lot to sit up here and feel like, well, I have to pay all these people bills. I have to, and again, it's like especially when it's a reoccurring thing. That's just not a feeling that I ever want. Like, I don't want people feeling comfortable to ask me for money. I just want to be able to give it when I have it and when I feel like it. I don't want to be, unless you like desperately need it, like it's a emergency. I don't like the feeling of operating as an ATM, because long term, I know that's not going to help you. Like, even with homeless people, like, if I give them $10, $20, cool, it might help them for the day. But in my mind, it's like, I know this isn't really what they need. And so it makes me want to wait until I can actually assist in a better way, because that's just the way that my mind works. I just don't like doing things that I feel like are a little bit pointless or not helpful in the long run. And so, yeah, I just don't like that feeling of being I don't want people to feel comfortable to constantly ask me for money. You can, once you tell me what business you want to start or whatever it is you want to do, I'll invest in it and help in whatever way that I can. But damn, when I reach a certain level of success, can I get myself together? Can I enjoy myself before niggas start asking me for shit? Can I enjoy my own success without people getting like so greedy and wanting things? Like, I truly feel bad for anyone in the public eye who has to like deal with that, because I'm sure it's a lot of people, but I just don't think that people understand how unfair that is. To, okay, now that you're successful and these people like birthed you and raised you and grew up with you and are related to you, now you have this overwhelming burden to take care of them. I don't think that's normal. I don't think that's okay. And there are a group of people that are going to feel like, no, it's your family. You got to take care of them. You got to do that. And it's like, if that's what you want to do, if you want to be responsible for taking care of multiple adults and children, and when I say taking care, I mean paying bills, I mean funding their life. If you want to, okay. Sorry, little technical difficulties, of course. But just to end the stream really, if you feel comfortable, if you are just that type of person where like you naturally are fine with that and you'll be able to carry that and be able to help without any added stress onto you, and you wanting to progress your life and do things, if you can handle that, kudos to you. I salute you. But me, I'm gonna do what I can. I'm gonna do what I can and what I want to do, not what I feel pressured to do or obligated to do. I'm not, child. I don't think Glorilla is wrong at all. Not even a little bit. She doesn't owe no people. See, that's the annoying thing. People thinking that they're owed things are just like not my kind of people. You're not owed anything. The minute you get that feeling, because I catch myself sometimes where I'm like, I had just said it the other day. I'm like, I feel like I'm owed a conversation in person. And then I was like, well, actually, I'm not. I may feel that. I may be valid in that feeling internally because of the way that I feel. I feel like, you know, things need to be said face to face. But in reality, I'm not owed a damn thing. We never have to speak again. In reality, you're not owed that. You're not owed um anything connected to your sibling, your family's success just because you're related to them. You're not owed that. Get over yourself. Feeling like you're owed things. That energy, that oh, I feel like I'm owed X, Y, and Z energy is very dark and heavy, and that's not gonna get you very far in life. So y'all need to like dead that and like get over yourself. Like, get over yourself. Honestly. Please. Anyways, I'm done with this episode, okay? We're almost at episode 30. Yay. Okay. Lots of things coming. A lot more to talk about next week. And I'm working on a lot and I'm back on my ADHD meds and I feel like I can conquer the world. So expect a lot more from me. Thank you for tuning in. Subscribe. My thoughts, no one asked for. It's your girl Asia clip page. I will be back next Thursday. Bye.